Right now at 5, violence continues in and around some of Mexico's popular tourist destinations after a military operation leads to the death of a cartel leader. An apartment building in Arlington goes up in flames, destroying several units and leaving dozens of people displaced. And $1 billion price tag for Dallas City Hall. Now leaders are asking whether it's worth it to fix it, leave it, or tear it all down. The heated debate that'll be unfolding coming up next. But we want to start with some breaking news and new fallout from the deadly floods on the 4th of July. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick released a letter in the past hour saying he's asked a state agency not to issue Camp Mystic a camping license this year. 25 little girls and 2 counselors at the family-owned camp were killed when torrential rain turned the Guadalupe River into a wall of water. More than half the buildings at Camp Mystic sat in a 100-year floodplain. In a letter to the Department of State Health Services, Lieutenant Governor Patrick says, quote, "Until these deaths are investigated and any necessary corrective actions are taken to ensure this never happens again, a camp license should not be issued to Camp Mystic." And he pointed to an investigative committee that plans to meet this spring. We'll have a lot more on this new development coming up later tonight at 6. This afternoon, we just got an update from the Dallas PD about an officer-involved shooting. This happened Friday near Shaw Street and Sylvan Avenue as several agencies served a search warrant at someone's home. DPD just released body cam video from that shooting. Deputy Liu has been reviewing the footage and gives us an update on what she's learned.
Tonight, Dallas police showed us body cam video from the SWAT officers who were on the scene of this shooting. The most graphic parts of the video, they are blurred by Dallas police, but I do still want to warn you the sensitive nature of this content. They showed us the perspective of 3 SWAT officers. This was on Shaw Street in West Dallas. DPD SWAT was helping Louisville Police Department and the DEA serve a search warrant. The videos show officers approach the house when 2 dogs come running out, so they deploy flashbangs. Then as the officers head upstairs to the 2nd floor of a detached garage, a suspect named Matthew Leha is seen opening the door. In the body cam, he has a firearm in his right hand pointed toward the officers. That's when Senior Corporal Wells, who's been with DPD for 11 years, fires his weapon. According to Dallas Police Chief Como, the SWAT doctor attempts to save the suspect's life. Leha is pronounced dead on the scene, and police tell us 2 babies were found inside unharmed. Drugs were also recovered from the property.
Variety. You had methamphetamine, you also had marijuana, and you had some pills that we believe are laced with fentanyl.
Most crime, and a lot of crime, doesn't necessarily stop at city limits. So even in the city of Louisville, when we encounter narcotic violations, sometimes they don't always just stay in the city of Louisville. Sometimes people come to Louisville or move through Louisville where they could encounter my team. And in this case, that was party to how that occurred.
And I asked Chief Como if Leha is a known drug dealer in the area, and he said yes. As for the officer involved in the shooting, he's been placed on administrative leave per protocol. In Dallas, let's send it back to you.
Several high-level soccer matches have been canceled this afternoon after Mexican special forces killed the head of its most powerful cartel. As ABC's Christian Cordero reports, the cartels have set multiple fires, blocked roads, and prevented tourists from leaving some cities.
Today, a violent raid in Mexico that killed one of the country's most notorious cartel leaders has millions of people on edge. Officials say Sunday's military operation killed multiple cartel members, including the head of the Jalisco New Generation cartel known as El Mencho. Mexico's visibly emotional defense minister today said more than 24 members of the military were also killed during the raid. The White House confirms it helped provide intelligence for Mexico, but that no American troops were on the ground. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum emphasizes the priority now is to provide peace and security. Security forces are patrolling in the air and on the streets. On Sunday, criminal groups set up hundreds of roadblocks, setting cars and buildings on fire.
You could see the fear in people's eyes. I mean, they were very, very, very concerned.
The violence reached popular tourist destinations, including Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara, as the U.S. Embassy urged Americans in Mexico to avoid all forms of travel.
We're all just under the shelter in place, told not to go anywhere, lock your doors, stay inside.
Sheinbaum says the roadblocks are now clear.
Puerto Vallarta's airport suspended all operations yesterday, leaving people, including American tourists, stranded. Flights there, including those to and from Guadalajara's airport, have resumed today. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Now, the cartel leader who was killed in Sunday's operation had ties to organized crime dating back 30 years, and the group's ties extended into North Texas. It hasn't even been 2 years since federal prosecutors in Dallas sentenced a dozen members of the Jalisco New Generation cartel. It was part of a major meth trafficking case in which the cartel stashed drugs inside buckets, which were then concealed inside a diesel truck and shipped over the border. A man who went by Taquito was sentenced to 40 years in prison for coordinating those shipments with cartel leaders. The violent retaliation has left a lot of Americans in limbo. Multiple airlines, as she mentioned, immediately canceled flights to Guadalajara and Puerto Vallarta. Some people are still stranded there. Others are here in North Texas wanting to get into Mexico. Coming up tonight at 6, Kevin Reese looks into their options and how long travel could be impacted. This afternoon, authorities are investigating a major fire at an apartment complex in Arlington. Here's an aerial view from Chopper 8 as several departments work together to get it under control. No one was injured, but dozens of residents lost their homes. Brittany Costello has been reporting from the scene all afternoon. Brittany, what are you hearing right now?
Well, as you mentioned, no one was injured, but people have had to clear out of this very badly damaged apartment unit. Arlington Fire Department folks just cleared out. Fencing is going up around this damaged unit, but I want to scoot out of the way so you can see what we're looking at here. So you may have seen from Chopper, the entire building's pretty damaged, but there is one isolated area where you can see through the windows, essentially. Now, we talked to one man earlier today who said he had just gotten home right around 1:30, right as this fire started. Take a listen.
I was just walking into my apartment, and as I unlocked the door, a big blaze of smoke shot out in my face, and I turned around.
Sam Semi said he could not go inside. He says he did go door to door, alerting his neighbors to the fire while they called 911, but his apartment was destroyed. He lost everything he owned inside.
It's a big loss, but one thing about it, I'm still here. I could have been gone. All the materialistic stuff, we can get that back. So, I'm happy to be here.
The Arlington Fire Department says 16 units were damaged, 25 people were displaced. That's 19 adults, 5 children. Arlington police say they are still investigating the cause. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Brittany. Plano will discuss 2 major items at tonight's City Council meeting: the incentives for AT&T's relocation and the future of DART funding. Council members will consider giving AT&T a $20 million grant and tax breaks to support its move to Legacy Drive. It requires the company to invest more than $1.3 billion and create up to 10,000 jobs over the next 25 years. They'll also consider public transit funding for the first time since DART's board approved a major change to its funding structure. The new plan sends a portion of sales tax revenue back to member cities. But some critics say the agency is giving up too much without getting enough in return. That meeting gets underway at 7. Starting tonight, crews will close a major highway in Collin County overnight. Stacia's here to show us how it'll impact night shift workers and early risers.
That's right, Chris. Let's go ahead and take a look at our map. So this is affecting, again, northern portion of Collin County and Anna. You can expect all lanes of US 75 to shut down tonight at County Road 371 for some continuous road work that they're doing on that area as the population continues to grow in the northern portion of Collin County. This starts at 9 o'clock tonight, wraps up at 5 tomorrow morning. So be aware of that if you are typically traveling through there overnight. We also have a major backup along Central Expressway south of that location in the McKinney area. We're watching it from Virginia Parkway. So looking at those northbound lanes, traffic that's approaching US 75 at Virginia Parkway, 2 lanes are blocked as a result of an accident there, and that is causing, again, an extensive backup along Central that goes all the way to McKinney. Also, Loop 12 northbound at Trinity River. This still has not cleared. Not sure if I can show you a camera of that, but again, this has been going on for a while, and it's been causing a slowdown there in Dallas. Once again, that location, Loop 12, there it is. Northbound at the Elm Fork portion of the Trinity River. You still have 1 lane blocked there. Chris?
Thanks, Stacia. Coming up next, council members facing a high-stakes decision in Dallas: spend up to $1 billion to save City Hall or walk away. Eli Lilly rolls out a new way to take a popular weight loss drug, what a monthly injection pen means for Zepbound patients paying out of pocket. And the Northeast is buried under a historic blizzard, canceling thousands of flights and leaving thousands of people without power. An update on the current conditions.
Well, and for all of you winter weather lovers that were wishing you had that, there it is. For us, though, 60 today. I'm talking 70s and 80s the rest of the week, and rain next week. My full forecast coming up.
And just a reminder, President Trump will deliver his State of the Union tomorrow. He's working to convince voters the economy is improving as Republicans head into the midterms with control of Congress at stake. You can watch it Tuesday at 8 p.m. right here on WFAA.